Masterclass for Richard Polatschek's Advanced Studies for the Clarinet. Today we're covering Etude 15 after Richard Wagner's opera Twilight of the Gods. So completed in 1876, the Twilight of the Gods is the epic final opera of Wagner's legendary Green Cycle. It depicts the fall of heroes, gods, the entire world, very 2020, if I might add. It's definitely very climactic, intense. It incorporates all of Wagner's writing styles, his aesthetic. All of his traits are combined into this final opera, and it's just very thrilling to listen to if you haven't heard it. I would definitely check out a recording and listen to it as you're working on this just for some inspiration. Now getting into the music, this etude is scored in B flat major, common time with a tempo suggestion of allegro moderato. Now based on this indication, I probably suggest a performance tempo of around quarter note equals 110 or so. In terms of the writing, this is very much Wagner's style, using expansive arpeggiated lines that create a strong sense of harmonic tension from beginning to end. Similar to Etude 14, we definitely have room to create a little bit more of a narrative in this, since we are given an opera to kind of piece this together with. I'm really trying to imagine the world that Wagner depicted in the original work throughout. I want to make sure and add a little bit of nuances, and I'm taking just a few liberties to create some tension and push and pull throughout from beginning to end. So overall, the main objective for this etude, in my opinion, is creating even, consistent intervals in a fast technical style. While B flat major is not the most difficult key center to play in, it does present some challenges, since many moments in this etude require us to arrive in the part from short fingerings to long fingerings. We have a lot of octaves that are happening very quickly. A lot of other large intervals that are not always easy to maneuver, from the throat tones, say, to the upper clarion, the altissimo. So keep in mind that good technique is going to take you a long way. Using good air, good voicing, good finger technique, as long as you're checking all your boxes, this should be pretty straightforward. So starting out, let's take a look at the way this etude has been composed. For the most part, we have consistent 16th notes that are arpeggiated, often displaced by intervals of a fourth, fifth, sixth, and an octave. When practicing this, I found it a little bit easier to add brackets over intervals that were giving me a little bit more grief. Additionally, I found it helpful to add some slash marks to separate the groupings that I found were a little bit more part of the melodic line. Some of this is sequenced and broken based on a given key center. So if you can kind of figure out a way to pace and structure this, it might make a little bit more sense. So as you can see in this example, take a look at the way that I've done this. If it makes sense to you, feel free to use it. This is just what makes sense to me. And I find that when playing this kind of a line that's just very disjunct and all over the place, it helps me to add a few notes to kind of restructure it and make it work for me. For intervals that involve the use of a B flat 5, I find that these particular intervals are a little bit more cumbersome due to the fact that we have to use the bottom side key with the index finger. Personally, I try to keep my right hand position so that my index finger is always resting against this key. In doing so, I'm able to play the B flat or E flat 4 below without the register key. without creating additional movement in the hand. Another good example of this particular interval is the beginning of the second movement excerpt from Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. So again, we're going from an F to a B flat. If my index finger is resting lower because my thumb rest is lower, then I have to move my finger up and then press inward. If my thumb rest is positioned in a way that lets me keep my index finger against the key, all I have to do is go from, let's say, the F and then press inward to the B flat. This is definitely a lot easier than having my finger lower and then having to come up and then over. So if you have the option of the adjustable thumb rest, make some adjustments, do some trial and error, figure out what works for you. Not everyone's going to be the same because our anatomy is different. The reason they have this is because everyone's built differently, so this single adjustment can really change the way that you have access to the clarinet. It's going to shift your entire hand, so keep this in mind as you're going through this particular etude. Obviously, it'll help for everything for this, but I just thought I'd bring this up since I haven't already.